Good morning, everyone. If you can hear me clearly. Please type a yes in the comment section.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Happy New Week.
Yeah, wishing you same happy new week to everyone. It's a brand new week.
The same to you, sir. Good morning, sir. And
Good morning,
everybody.
Madam Manaji. Morning.
Thank you very much, sir. How was your weekend, sir?
Very fine. Very fine. We thank God. Morning, Rotimi Shino. Morning, Macaulay Okilbo. Okay, so I think we can get started. Everybody's on board. So today is Monday, the 14th of October, 2024. And this week runs through from 14th to 18th. So that's the analysis we're doing this morning. We're looking at the weekly outlook, what to expect in the market in the course of this week. So we'll start with the fundamentals, then we'll go back to the technicals. Now, from the fundamental angle, from what I'm seeing on the screen, we have to trade with a lot of caution today because today is Monday 14th. You can see that we have a lot of these countries having bank holiday today. Like Japan is having a bank holiday. Canada is having a bank holiday. United States is having a bank holiday. So this may affect the movement of these currencies, precisely the Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar. So all these events is all day. Then later today by 8 p.m., FOMC member Walla is going to give a speech from the United States. Most likely, if a day trader, you will not really be in the market at that time, except you have running trades that is yet to close. Otherwise, you'll likely not be in the market at that time. So we are trading with a lot of caution. When we use the word caution, it means you have to monitor your trade because erratic movements might be experienced. There could be spikes, there could be range, because when the bank is on holiday, it means when you have bank holiday, the currency will not move as expected. Sometimes it may be in a range, or sometimes it may just experience some volatility spikes as an uncontrolled sharp movement. So you need to trade with a lot of caution. And if you already have running trades open, this also means you need to look at your trades closely. You need to monitor your trades closely. And one of the best ways to just prevent any unexpected expectation is to make sure you have a stop loss in place just in case things do not go as you originally planned. So I want us to take note of that. So I'll just touch on the key events where to expect volatility this week because there are quite a number of events. So I'll just touch on the important ones which we should put our fingers on. Like tomorrow, Tuesday, there will be claimant count change from the United Kingdom by 7 a.m. Simultaneously, there will be average earning index. Now, both of them combined together could lead to some volatility. The claimant count change is a high impact event, while the average earning index is a medium impact event. But when both of them happen together, it could really lead to some volatility. So I want us to take note of that tomorrow. It will really be a tradable event by 7 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, from the United Kingdom. And tomorrow also, there'll be a lot of volatility on the Canadian dollar because by 1:30 p.m., there'll be CPI monthly, median CPI, trim CPI, common CPI, four events from Canada running simultaneously tomorrow by 1:30 p.m. So we need to put a lot of attention to that. There will be a lot of volatility from that release. And it will happen simultaneously with Empire State Manufacturing Index from the United States. And later tomorrow night by 10:45 p.m., there'll be CPI again, but this time around from New Zealand. So we have a lot of activity tomorrow, at least the main focus is on that Canadian dollar by 1:30 p.m. On Wednesday, there'll be CPI also. It looks like we're having a lot of CPI this week. There'll be CPI from United Kingdom by 7 a.m. on Wednesday. Let's put this, let's take note of this. All the CPI events are actually tradable. So there are opportunities for you to trade using fundamental analysis to make money from the market. And that's the important event for the day. So later on Wednesday, there'll be a speech from the ECB President Lagarde, 7:40 p.m. As a day trader, you should be out of the market by then. And on Thursday, by 1:30 a.m., we have the unemployment change rate from Australia. by 1:30 a.m. You might stay awake or wake early to trade that. It will be really volatile. And the other important event on Thursday will be the core retail sales and retail sales from the United States by 1:30 p.m. And it's also it's going to also be released simultaneously with the unemployment claims. So on Thursday, the important event to trade, we have employment change, unemployment rate from Australia, 1:30 a.m., core retail sales, unemployment claims, and fully fed manufacturing index from the United States by 1:30 p.m. These are the core tradable events for Thursday. And finally, okay, same Thursday by 4 p.m., there'll be crude oil inventories. Yes, it's a medium impact event, but it could move the market. 4 p.m. on Thursday, crude oil inventories from the United States. And finally, on Friday, we have the retail sales from United Kingdom by 7 a.m. That's the biggest event for the day. Though we have building permits from United States 1:30 p.m. That's a medium impact event. We may not get much movement from that. And by 5:10 p.m., we'll have FOMC member Walla and Treasury currency report. Those ones, we can just ignore them. So the most important event for Friday is actually the retail sales from the United Kingdom. So if you check all these through, you see that we have some of the most, let's say the instrument where we expect a lot of volatility this week is the Canadian dollar, the GBP from the United Kingdom. Those are the major currency pairs where we have a lot of powerful events, even the United States also, because from the United Kingdom, virtually almost every 7 a.m. there is a tradable event, so we can put that in mind as we start each day, knowing fully well that by 7 a.m. there's something we can quickly trade on the British pound. That's the GBP. And the Canadian dollar has a lot of events, and even the United States dollar. All right, so that's what we have fundamentally. I'll switch over now to the technicals for what we have technically for today and also for the week. Today, intraday, for the week, that'll be swing setup. Now, the first instrument I want to analyze today is the GBP USD. That's the British pound against the dollar. Now, I hold a bullish outlook on this instrument. You can see it on my screen. You can see an ascending channel. That is a channel that is trending upwards. And price has made a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. So the next wave of movement should be a higher high again. And not only that, there's a previous resistance turn support here, and price came back to that same support level, which also means we're looking for an opportunity to trigger a bullish movement. And finally, last week, Thursday, Friday, let's even start with the Thursday. Price closed the day as a rejection candle. Now, that rejection candle, the shadow is within this support zone and also simultaneously touching the trend line from the ascending channel. Now, this gives us, a further outlook of a bullish breakout on this instrument. And if you still want to look at it further, these two combined is equally giving us, that's the candle of Thursday, Friday combined together. It's also giving us the look of a tweezer bottom, which also indicates we're looking for an opportunity for a bullish breakout. So if you look at all this, from all these angles here, I've zoomed it out bigger now. This is actually a tweezer bottom also. So all of it points us to a bullish movement on the GBP USD. That's on the daily time frame. So we'll check it out now on 1 hour. Now on the 1 hour time frame, we can draw our trend line, and a second trend line by the back gives us a falling wedge pattern. So we can see that from the falling wedge pattern, price is expected to also break out in the bullish direction. So what I'll do as a person is, you can see there's a minor resistance up here, and I will wait for price to break above that resistance for me to trigger a buy on the GBP USD. So I'm bullish on the GBP USD for today. It's an intraday setup, so I expect this to trigger in the course of today. Once a new candle opens above that resistance zone, and our RSI is clearly above 50 at the moment, it's at 55. That means we're getting set for that breakout. And once that breakout happens, we can clearly trigger a buy on the GBP USD. In fact, a further look here is giving us a feel of a double bottom pattern here, which is still another confirmation of a bullish movement. So I'm bullish on the GBP USD for today. Next instrument I'll check is the Euro JPY. The Euro JPY. All right, so for the Euro JPY, on the daily time frame, you can see that price, has been trading around this resistance level. There's been a resistance level in the last few days. We have a valid resistance here, a resistance here, a resistance. In the last couple of days, price has equally been ranging around that resistance level over there. So flipping down to the 1 hour time frame, what I'm seeing on the 1 hour time frame is a formation of a pattern that is currently looking like a head and shoulder pattern from where I expect a bearish breakout. It's not looking too clear, but then we can always use our line chart to also give us some clarity. I do use a line chart for that purpose. So you can see we have a shoulder, a head. Now, this is expected to be the second shoulder, but currently we're in a retracement. So I expect a further continuation downwards. So we have a head and shoulder pattern on the Euro JPY, and I'll be looking for a sell whenever price breaks out below this zone, which is the zone of the neckline. Okay, or better still, I think we can have it this way. Yeah, it's better of this way. Let me delete the rectangle. So this becomes our neckline region. So once a new candle breaks out below this region, we can trigger a sell on the Euro JPY. And we'll have a profit potential in the range of from Fibonacci 38 to 50. You can give as much as about 13, 14 pips, and to Fibonacci 1.8 can give about 28 pips. Now, this is purely an intraday setup. So 13, 28, that's about 41, 42 pips thereabout combined, which you can get from this instrument. Let me quickly go back to the GBP USD and give us a profit potential of the GBP USD. For the GBP USD, we can have profit in the range of, all right, you can see that Fibonacci 8.2 coincides with that minor resistance zone. So to Fibonacci 50 for GBP USD can give us about, let's say about 15 pips, or 17 pips, and to Fibonacci 61.8 can give about 34 pips. All right, so that's 1734. That's close to about 50 pips plus thereabouts, a little above 50 pips for the GBP USD, and we have almost similar thing on the Euro JPY. I'm bullish on the GBP USD. I'm bearish on the Euro JPY. Both of them intraday. That's 1 hour setup. And the third instrument I'll look at is the Euro CAD. I'm equally bearish on the Euro CAD, and these are my reasons. Now, for the Euro CAD, we can see here that price, we can clearly draw a trend line, between these three candles. 1, 2, and 3. We have a touch 3 times. Technically, that should lead us into a bearish movement. And secondly, we equally have a minor resistance between the tip of this big candle and last Friday candle. That's between this place and this region, which is equally pointing us in the bearish direction. So we have two things pointing us in the bearish direction on the daily time frame. And if we flip down to the 1 hour time frame, this is what we can clearly see. We can draw our trend line right here and a second one at the back to give us a rising wedge pattern. Now, a rising wedge pattern is equally a bearish pattern. So everything is pointing us in the bearish direction on the Euro card. So I'll be looking to take a sell once price breaks out below the lower trend line and the RSI is clearly below 50. And for this one also, we can look at a profit potential within the range of, if it takes some few pips below this recent low, that can give us as much as about 48 pips of Fibonacci 50 and about 72 pips of Fibonacci 61.8. So we have a quite reasonable movement expected on the Euro card. So we're bearish also on the Euro card. And finally, for the intraday setup, earlier on I was looking at the DJ30. Let me check if the setup is still valid. Okay, we still have a valid setup. Now for the DJ30 is an index. You can see that price has been trending up on the daily time frame. We have a very valid looking rising wedge pattern. Rising wedge price has done a lot of wave of high and low and all the rest. So price is touching the upper trend line. So technically, we're looking for an opportunity to sell if it presents itself though. Now on the 4-hour time frame, you discover that the candle that closed last week is this rejection candle on the 4-hour, and that signifies we could expect a reversal in price. Yes, we now have two candles as the market opens today, but you can see that those other two candles or three candles, they are currently in a range. They are currently ranging. So that even is indicative that we should expect a decline in price, all of them on the 4-hour. So if we zoom down to the 1-hour time frame, okay, not seeing anything. Earlier I was seeing a pattern that looks a lot like a head and shoulder information, but it looks like that structure is changing. But notwithstanding, I'll still be looking to take a sell if price is able to break out below this current range. Now we have a range up there. All right, so we have a range here. Once price breaks out below this range, you can comfortably trigger a sell on the DJ30. Now for a more effective trade, I will advise to target. Now I'm on 15 minutes time frame, so that those who are trading DJ30 can be aware. So I will advise to target this blue line I just drew, which is my recent support as a take profit level. You know, if you have to trigger a sell once price breaks out below the range, and you can make as much as close to about close to 80 to 90 pips, you know, with that small movement. So don't sleep on this if you trade indices. You know, this is a very good opportunity that you should take advantage of in the market today. It's a sector that should trigger today. So I'm bearish on the DJ30. All right, so I've analyzed 4 instruments that are, you know, intraday setup. I've looked at GBP USD. I'm bearish on that on 1 hour. Sorry, I'm bullish on GBP, pardon me, and I'm bearish on Euro JPY on 1 hour. I'm bearish on Eurocard on 1 hour, and I'm bearish on DJ30 on 15 minutes. So those are the intraday setup I have for us this morning. Now go to the next one, which are the swing setup, which will span the week, and I have 3 setups to show us. And the first is the GBP CHF. The GBP CHF. Now, the GBP CHF is trading within a symmetrical triangle. And you know the rule around symmetrical triangle, if price breaks out above, it's a buy. And if it breaks out below, it's a sell. So price is currently, you know, in the midpoint. So we're waiting for wherever the breakout happens. So if you see the breakout happen upwards, we take a buy. If you see it go downwards, we take a sell. Now, the maximum profit margin will be at the most recent high or the most recent low. Now, this does not say that it's guaranteed that price will get to those levels, but those are the highest levels price will get to. So depending on how the market moves, if we're able to see a bullish trade above this high, then that can give as much as about 100 pips in the bullish direction. And if the breakout is downwards, that can give as much as about 45 pips in the bearish direction. 100 pips to the bullish, about 45 pips to the bearish. Let's just wait and see how market moves on its own for us to see these outcomes on the GBP CHF. And also, I have Euro CHF also on the 4-hour, and it's equally having a symmetrical triangle, just like the GBP CHF. Again, a breakout to the upside will be a bullish trade, and a breakout to the downside will be a bearish trade. Also, the profit potential, the maximum profit that could be realized will be the most recent high for a bullish trade and the most recent low for a bearish trade. Like I said, it's not a guaranteed thing as in price may not get to those levels, but you can capture from wherever the breakout happens, with the hope that it may go higher than the current level where you can take as much pips as possible. But on the upside, we can capture as much as about 90 pips there and a little above it. And to the downside can give as much as about 36 pips. So that's it on both the GBP CHF and the Euro CHF. And the final setup I have for us this morning is the Euro New Zealand. The Euro New Zealand. Now, the Euro New Zealand, on the daily time frame, what I can see here is a formation of a symmetrical triangle. You can see the triangle pattern I've drawn. I have a symmetrical triangle information, but then we're not really trading the symmetrical triangle itself because it's on daily time frame. That will take quite some time before the price breaks out. But what is important to me on this is that we have a descending trend line here, which will have a lower high, and a third lower high, which signifies we should expect a bearish continuation. And not only that, we also have a support zone here, and we have a resistance zone. And thirdly, the current candle is within the range of the two zones. As in the recent candles that we have on the Euro New Zealand is within the range of those two zones. So we can as well use our rectangle pattern to connect all the dots together. So we have price trading around a support, turned resistance, and the current range of candles is still in that same resistance zone. So technically, that should give us a bearish movement on the Euro New Zealand. So if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we're having the formation of a head and shoulder pattern on where we have the trend line from the daily and the resistance from the also from the daily, which is forming a confluence. So at that confluence point, we're seeing the head and shoulder being formed. So technically, that should give us a bearish movement on the Euro New Zealand. Now, I'll be looking to take a sell once price breaks out below the the neckline region, this region. Once we have zone precisely, once we have a new candle breakout below that level, then we can look at taking a sell on the Euro New Zealand. And the profit potential of this can be in the range of, you can even see we have Fibonacci 32, just slightly below that rectangle, which could be our entry point. Fibonacci 50 can give us as much as 67 pips, and to Fibonacci 7.8 can give as much as about 140 pips. Now, don't sleep on this Euro New Zealand for a swing trader. This one is one of my favorite setup I'm watching for this week. And I'm seeing that I believe that hopefully with time, price will break out below the neckline for us to trigger a sell and cash in a massive pips on this instrument. So I'm bearish on the Euro New Zealand. All right, so a summary again for the swing setup. I've analyzed the GBP CHF and the Euro CHF. Both of them are forming symmetrical triangles, and price will break out on either side. For the Euro New Zealand, I'm bearish on 4-hour. All right, so that'll be all this morning from my end. I'll take a few questions as we try to round up this analysis session. Okay, Abolade, let's check on Euro New Zealand. I just analyzed that, so I've done justice to Euro New Zealand. And Joshua Corey is asking us to check gold. Okay, so we'll go over to check gold. All right, so this is gold. Now, gold is trading close. Overall, gold is actually trading within a rising wedge pattern, and currently is trading very close to a resistance level on the daily time frame. So two things can happen to gold at this point. Gold price may hit this resistance and experience a kind of a minor reversal, or otherwise price may break above the resistance. So it's in a critical level. So I would advise you trade caution. If you are not on a trade, I will advise you to hold on and let's see what's happening. Don't just jump into any trade anyhow. More so, don't forget that today, a lot of these banks are on holiday and that may affect the movement of some instruments. So again, I said price may hit the resistance and experience a reversal, or price may break above and target the next high of the trend line from where it will also experience a reversal. So let's exercise some patience and see clearly what is happening before we know the next move of gold. USD card, Mr. Olabi. All right, USD card is currently trading around. There's a resistance from the weekly time frame that is between this candle, between this zone and this zone. Price broke above it but reversed, so still hold on to that level, and price is back to that same resistance level from the weekly time frame, and that's the same thing we can see on the daily time frame here. It's also having a kind of a support turned resistance. So technically, we should be looking for an opportunity to sell USD card. And if you go down to okay, let's go down to 4 hour, nothing much on 4 hour. 1 hour, can put our attention on 1 hour and draw our trend line. So we have a rising wedge pattern, and that means we're looking for a bearish movement on the USD card. And confirmation also is that your RSI should be clearly below 50 at the time you may want to trigger a sell. So we are bearish on the USD card. Now, I'll also advise you wait for clear breakout below this support zone here. Wait for a clear candle to break out below it before you trigger a sell, because the price may enter this zone and do a reversal before coming down. So let's wait for a clear breakout below the support zone before you trigger a sell on the USD card. US oil. All right. Now for US oil on the weekly time frame, you can see that price has been trending down for quite some time. We've had a massive downtrend. We have a massive downtrend on this instrument. And last week candle closed touching that trend line slightly, and it closed as a rejection candle. So that's the daily time frame. This is the 4 hour. So technically, we should still be looking for an opportunity for a decline on the US oil. However, we need to draw a trend line right here and another one at the back to give us a rising wedge pattern. So we may be looking for a bearish opportunity once a new candle opens outside of this lower trend line. And please confirm that your RSI is below 50 at the point of the trigger. So we're bearish on the US oil. And it's a swing setup. It's not intraday. It's a swing setup. On GBP CHF, can we wait for a retest before trigger our entry? Well, with symmetrical triangle, I will not encourage that you look for a retest, except if that is a core part of your trading strategy, because many times price will just break out and continue going in the intended direction. So if you're waiting for a retest, you may end up missing the action. What we're trading is a pattern. So to be honest, retest doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. GBP USD and GBP JPY. That's Mr. Emmanuel and Noel. So let's quickly check that. GBP USD. Sorry, I've already analyzed GBP USD. We're bullish on the GBP USD on 1 hour. We're bullish on GBP USD on 1 hour. So let's check GBP JPY. Now, most of the JPYs are actually currently in a range. You need to be careful with them. For GBP JPY, I would say we can look for prices is in a range. So either you want to look for a buy or a sell, you need to wait for price to break out of this range. Though there's a resistance on the daily time frame. So wherever price wants to break out, if it breaks out above this range, if it breaks out above this range, you can look for a retest, breakout, retest, then continuation. And if it's a sell, you may look out for same, breakout, retest, and continuation in the bearish direction. That's all I can say. But I think it may be more bearish than bullish, but we just have to wait and see what the market will do. But currently, the range is what will determine prices actually trading within the range, and until it breaks out, we don't know what's going to happen. So wherever the breakout happens, that's where you trade for GBP JPY. BTC USD, all right. BTC USD. All right, so this is my view of the BTC USD. Price is approaching, the upper trend line on the daily time frame. Two things can happen here. Price may hit this trend line and decide to continue in the bearish direction. You can see this is like a falling wedge. So price may hit that trend line and break out downwards, or it may break out, retest, and continue going higher. So this is a zone where you need to be very, very cautious with the BTC USD. And don't forget there's a resistance. There's a resistance up here. So price may hit the trend line or break out to it. Now, if it breaks out above the trend line, the next thing is that price is trying to form a double top pattern, which will signify that we're having a bearish breakout. Or price may just hit the trend line or just break above it or retest it and continue. So you are not looking for any opportunity to buy until price breaks out above this resistance zone up here, a retest and a continuation. That's for the buy. For the sell, price can just hit this trend line or hit the resistance and drop from there. So trade BTC with a lot of caution until price does all what I'm saying. Be careful of the kind of trade you take on BTC. On GBP USD, can we enter a trade when the new candle is formed? Don't just enter a trade when the new candle is formed. I said that price is expected to break above a resistance zone before you look at taking a buy for GBP USD. The reason, if you just see, this is GBP USD, there's a resistance above the current candle. If the volatility is not strong, price will touch this resistance and drop again, throwing you into a negative. So wait for price to break out, wait for a new candle above this resistance for you to trigger a buy on GBP USD. Except for those who have made entry earlier when reversal candlestick patterns, showed up here, fine. But if you are just, which most of us are just coming into the market now, wait, let price break above that resistance before you trigger a buy. All right, I think I've attended to every question here. Mr. Sonny, Euro USD recap. I didn't analyze the Euro USD. I didn't analyze it. But then we might be expecting some slight bullish movements. There's not much volatility around it, but then we may see some slight bullish movement on the GBP USD. Because this is the view on GBP USD. You can see that price is coming from a support. We have a support level here, and we have a reversal candlestick pattern. We have a doji there on Thursday. So we may see some bullish movement. It may not be much. So that's what technically is possible with the Euro USD today. And it seems to also be having a reversal pattern, which can push it a little up. So we can wait for a breakout above here. Also, just like the GBP USD, don't forget there's a minor resistance between this region and this place. So you need to wait for a clear breakout above that resistance, minor resistance zone before you trigger a buy on the Euro USD. All right, I think I've attended to all the questions. That'll be all from today's morning analysis session. Please trade safe, trade with caution. If you're on the platform, you don't have an account with PU Prime, please visit our website. Okay, if you're on the platform, you don't have an account with PU Prime, visit our website, www.puprime.com. PU Prime is a global brand with global head office in Australia, and we have 2 offices in Nigeria, Abuja and Lagos. And these offices are open. You can walk over there at any time. You want to make inquiries, you want to see our faces, you can get us at our offices. We have physical presence, so we are not like some brands that are just purely online. We have physical offices where you can always walk to. And we hold training sessions in these offices. So maybe you're on the platform this morning and all what we're doing seems too complicated or complex for you, probably a beginner. Then you need a proper, Forex trading education. So at our Abuja and Lagos offices, we run trainings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, for beginners like yourself. Tuesday class is actually beginners class where we teach you the basics of Forex trading. And on Thursday, we go to the intermediate and advanced classes. So make yourself available for this training. And we're not charging for it, though you're expected to have a trading account with us, to be a part of these classes. So we hope to see you on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, and Thursday, as we teach you how to trade the Forex market. All right, so if you have an account already, you're not funded, you're missing a lot, make sure you fund the account because I have a lot of programs coming up that can be of help to you to trade better and make better income from the Forex market. All right, we'll end the analysis session here. Don't forget we have a second analysis session by 12:30 p.m. We have analysis session twice in a day, 7 a.m. and 7 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So make sure you join us by 12:30 p.m. for the afternoon session. All right, take care and have a great day ahead. Don't forget to check your WhatsApp group because I'll drop the link to this video. You can watch it over again to know where the breakouts of those instruments I've mentioned will come up and where you can take successful trades. Take care and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye. You're welcome, Madam Monaji.